Most books recommended for English learners are a waste of your time. In today's video, I'll share 5 books with you guys that can make you smarter in English. Books that improve your vocabulary, but also challenge your habits, build your speaking confidence, shift your identity and mindset. By the end, you'll know exactly what book to choose next. So reading in English feels less like school and more like real life. And no, it's not about reading more boring stories you don't care about. It's not about reading more classics. It's about reading something that wakes something up in you. It's about reading something that makes you feel emotions. And then using my read, still, speak method to turn that reading into real life speaking. My name is Veroniq. I am from Poland and I learned English as a non-native speaker. Today I'm sending my love to you from Vietnam. I need to whisper to you today because I'm actually in a Vietnamese bookstore. It's like an international bookstore with English books. The biggest mistake I made was reading books that are good for practice instead of books that changed the way I saw myself, my voice in English, my life, and the world around me. Let's go with the first book. It really shaped this YouTube channel. It really shaped me, my whole life. Atomic Habits by James Clear is for people who keep restarting their English and secretly think they are not consistent enough. You know the vibe. A new app, a new course, new energy. 2 weeks later, real life happens, and then comes the guilt. The guilt, I didn't do enough, I started again, and I failed again. The author says it's not a discipline problem, it's the identity problem. Let me ask you this question. Are you an English learner or are you an English speaker? Let me tell you a story. More than 5 years ago, when I opened this YouTube channel, I didn't consider myself a YouTuber. I was an English teacher. So the identity of a person who was an English teacher behaved as an English teacher, right? I moved to Spain and I started to work at school as an English teacher because that was my identity. James Clear gives this example. Imagine 2 people resisting a cigarette. When offered a smoke, the first person says, "No thanks, I'm trying to quit." It sounds like a reasonable response, right? But this person still believes they are a smoker. The second person declines by saying, "No thanks, I'm not a smoker." It's a small difference, but this statement signals a shift in identity. And how to do that? By using the idea of habit stacking. To shift my identity, I used this formula that you can see here on the screen, and actually it's still a part of my life because it's so useful. After waking up, I go to the gym. After my workout, I have breakfast while listening to other YouTubers. After my breakfast and doing the research on YouTube, I set my camera and I press record. Every single day I recorded a video. After having my breakfast, it became automatic. Over time, for 21 days, I was really struggling. I was like, I'm lying to myself. This is not gonna work. And what if people are gonna judge me? You know, all this mental clutter, yes, it's gonna appear. This is totally normal. But if you bear with it for 21 days, you can shift everything in your life, my friend. Everything. So now that you are aware of the identity shift, you have one task. Use this formula and adjust it to your life. For example, at 5, after finishing my work, I speak English for 30 seconds. To myself, I record a video, I record a voice note, you name it. But the book itself is only half of it. The way you read matters too. Because you want to stop reading like a student, right? Stopping every 2 seconds and translating every word to your native language. And this is where you can use my read, still, speak technique. I explained it all in this video. Step 1 is reading one short paragraph. The next step is to steal one phrase that you think can be very useful in your life. For example, a very useful phrase that I can see here is a few hours later. And the last step is to make it yours. So now I'm going to create a sentence with this useful phrase. So right now I'm recording a video, but a few hours later I'm gonna go shopping and have some dinner with my boyfriend. This is a very simplified explanation of this method. You can watch it here, but this is exactly how you turn reading into speaking, because reading on its own is not enough to become a fluent English speaker. The second life-changing book is Mindset by Carol Dweck. In this Vietnamese bookstore, they don't have a lot of books, like self-help books, because it's a communist country, you know. So I can't show you this book, and I don't have it in a paper version because I'm a digital nomad. I have only one suitcase and one backpack. That's basically everything I own, so I can't carry a lot of paper books with me. Before we get into the book, I need to show you this comment that will help you understand the message of the book better. Tu técnica de aprendizaje está bien, pero solo sirve para personas como tú, que tienen la suerte de viajar a países de habla inglesa. Lo demás no podemos seguir tu técnica porque por desgracia no tenemos la suerte que has tenido tú. Nosotros tenemos que seguir con la gramática. Okay, this is the mindset problem. So now let me just read what I responded. La vida que he creado no es suerte, es hard work and constant improvement. Si yo puedo, tú puedes. La gran mayoría puede. El aprendizaje de idiomas viene después de cambiar la forma en la que te ves a ti mismo y al mundo exterior. Pon el trabajo y vas a ver resultados. Do the work and you're gonna see the results. Es fácil atascarse en el modo soy la víctima de la vida, pero ¿esto te ayuda a crear una vida mejor? Does it help you create a better life for yourself? Quizás el peor enemigo de tu progreso eres tú. Maybe the worst enemy of your progress is you. This is the definition of the fixed mindset by the author of the book Mindset. When a person has a fixed mindset, they don't avoid effort because they are lazy. They avoid it because failure would prove something permanent about who they are. The opposite of the fixed mindset is the growth mindset, meaning through dedication, willingness, hard work, you are able to achieve outstanding results. You are able to get fluent in any language you want. By the way, I started to learn Chinese because I believe there is nothing impossible. Chinese is so difficult for me as a European, oh my god. But let's see, maybe I can go to China in a few months and order myself a coffee. Why not? And guys, as I said, if I can, you can. The reading tip I have here for you. If you understand 80%-ish of the text, just skip the words you don't understand and keep going, okay? This is how you're gonna enjoy the process of reading. This is how it's gonna be pure pleasure and joy. And this is how you actually learn from context, because your brain is automatically gonna figure out what this word means. And if it doesn't, because this word is like new or difficult, no worries. You can then open a dictionary, but let me challenge you. Let it be English dictionary, meaning you cannot translate to your native language. Why? Because you understand this video. You understand so much. So you can figure out a word definition in English. This is how you teach your brain to think in English. Okay, let's go to the third book. And this one is not self-help. This is just a really nice story. And this is something light to read. Eat, Pray, Love. By the way, guys, it's so humid here in Vietnam. Look at this. And I had a terrible jet lag after my New York trip, because I came here to Vietnam from New York, and that was a 30-hour journey with a stopover in South Korea and a 12-hour time difference. Now here is 5 p.m. in Vietnam, and in New York it's 5 a.m. Actually, my current life is pretty connected to this book, Eat, Pray, Love, because this book is about a woman who is, finding herself out there in the world. She travels to Rome, India, and Bali, and finally she finds herself. My point here, there is a version of you in English that's smaller than who you really are. Most probably in your language, you are a completely different person. Maybe you're funny, maybe you know how to tell jokes, you can express opinions, but suddenly when it's time to speak English, you get super tense, you get super nervous, and you are like, okay, I need to be really correct, I can't make any mistake, and as a result, you end up hiding yourself. The main character of this book doesn't go to Italy to study Italian. She goes to Italy to enjoy her life, to enjoy food, to find joy again. And she learns Italian as a result of looking for joy. She lets the language wash her over, meaning she lives this language. She laughs in this language. She cries in this language. Most learners consume English entirely for utility. Grammar videos, learning podcasts, books chosen because they're good for practice. Everything is a tool and nothing is joy. The reading tip I have here for you is something that came to me super naturally. One day I was sitting in a coffee shop and I really wanted to read a book, Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. I'm not recommending this book in this video because it's really complex and old English. It's not really good for practice. Anyway, I wanted to read it, but I was like, oh, I'm too lazy to read it. What if I play an audiobook and I read the text at the same time? Oh my god, that was life-changing, guys. I can read books so fast and I can train my ear at the same time. So it's training reading and listening. And combining with my read, still, speak method, you have 3 skills in one. Just saying. Okay, let's go to the 4th life-changing book. And this one is gonna be a hard hit. Are you ready? The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying by Veroniq. There was a nurse who was taking care of people who were passing away. She was talking to them, she was taking care of them, and she started noticing that majority of these people had 5 regrets right before passing away. The first regret makes me really emotional. I wish I had had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. Unfortunately, this is a very common one. A lot of people had not honored their dreams because of the fear of judgment, because of the fear of being criticized, because of the fear of being rejected by the family, the friend group. This one is really close to my heart because in my early 20s I faced a decision, most probably as most of us, whether you belong and don't live authentically, or you don't belong and you stay true to yourself. And I chose the second option. It was most probably one of the hardest decisions of my life, but after many years I can tell you courageously and clearly I do not regret this decision, because there is nothing better than being true to yourself and speaking your truth out loud. While reading this book, I was thinking about you guys, and I was thinking of the past version of myself. How many opportunities slipped through your fingers because you didn't have enough courage to use your English? How many things you haven't done because you thought your English just wasn't enough? The job you didn't apply for, the person you didn't approach. But the good news, it's not too late. If you understand this video, it means that your English level is already high enough to make more money, to get more professional opportunities, more job opportunities, to travel the world if you want. Use English to your advantage. People are gonna think whatever they wanna think, whether you do this or you don't do this. At the end of the day, this is your life. At the end of the day, this is your decision. At the end of the day, as we can learn from these people who are crossing worlds, this is what matters. What you want is what matters the most. My quick reading tip: read one chapter, then close the book and describe it to yourself out loud. This is how you train input. Yes, you put information in and output at the same time. Your brain actually has to do the work. Your brain has to think and your mouth has to produce. This one is amazing. You can apply it to any text you are reading, even a social media post. Okay, we are almost there. The last life-changing book, and it's the easiest one to read, The Little Prince. Don't force me to say the author's name, because I can't. This book was my obligatory reading when I was in primary school. And it's fantastic because it's so easy to read, simple words, short sentences, but it carries a deeper meaning. I'm gonna assume most of us know this book, and actually you can use it to your advantage, because if you know the story already and now you read it in English, not in your native language, it's gonna be your fluency accelerator. There is this main character called the geographer who knows everything about the world but has never left his planet. He has never actually seen any of it. He just knows what's here, but not out there. Can you feel my point? Some English learners are exactly this. They know the grammar rules to the perfection, better than the native speakers. They passed exams. They know advanced vocabulary, phrasal verbs, but they never actually speak in real life with real people. They know English, but they never lived it. And now, I'm not attacking you, please don't feel offended. I'm just saying to wake you up, okay? Because English is not some other boring subject at school. This is life. I wouldn't be able to be here in Vietnam or traveling the world in New York in my last vlog. I wouldn't be able to do it without English. I wouldn't be able to make money without English. It's the same for you. English is the last, piece to your success. So guys, before we wrap it up, let me give you one last reading tip, and it's basically to play with books. Right now, I don't have a book with me, but I'm gonna go to my apartment and I'm gonna include a b-roll here. I underline, I make notes, I read out loud when I'm alone or when the situation lets me. I study the books. I don't just read them passively, I read them with my heart. I read them with my soul. When you read a book in English, grab a pen and automatically you will start living it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really love talking to you. I really love chatting with you. So feel free to express your thoughts, your opinions, your reflections in the comments section. I really want to invite you to join me in my 90-day coaching program. This is a very intimate space where you and I, work really hard on your progress. This is a highly personalized space because I accept only 4 clients at a time. We get to meet during one-on-one Zoom sessions. You get my business WhatsApp and you send me notes. More info on my website in the description. Okay, I'm gonna get my ass out of here because I've been talking for more than 1 hour in this bookstore and I think they already hate me. Anyway, learn more about my read, steal, speak method here. Take care.